Hello, it's me, Andrine, the Jewish American Priestess, and I'm going to do a real quick what's coming up for you this week, the week of August, first week of August, which is we're already into the month of Av. So yeah, we're going to talk about what's coming up for the first week of August 2022, or the week of the 4th of Av 5782. And I've got 3 different things to choose from. And again, I'm just going to do a short past, present, future reading. But we have 3 glass hearts today to choose from. I've got this one that's kind of a modeled glass heart. I've got this little guy, which is a crystal on a string of crystals. And I've got this shiny red glass heart. That one's from Murano, Italy glass. Anyway, so here's our 3 glass hearts. Pick which one you would like for me to do a reading on, and I will go ahead and start right away. We're going to start with this one. I'll move these off to the side. I can find a space for them. All right, so we're going to pick out 3 runes for you this day, for this coming week. First rune for you is, oh goodness, it's the Tzadi. Second one is, got the letter Tav. And the third, coming out of the bag, is the letter Vav. All right, so maybe I can just figure out how to zoom in a little on these guys without losing too much. Okay. All right, starting with the letter Tzadi. Tzadi is the first letter in the word tzaddik, which means someone who is a wise person or a righteous person. Tzedek also starts with tzadi, and it means righteousness. It is sort of like a bent nun with a yud on its back. So it's like someone who is very humble, but they're carrying the divine right on their back. And it's a person who hunts for those lost sparks. There's a story that says that the divine put their light into a glass jar, and that glass jar could not hold it, and it shattered, and all those sparks went out into creation and exists in every living thing. So a tzaddik is someone who searches for those sparks to bring those back together into the one. And so tzedek or tzaddik, this idea of righteousness, is happening right now for you. And then moving into the future, we have the letter Tav. And Tav is the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It is a finality letter. It is a stamp or a seal. So something is coming that is coming to an end for you soon. And the Tav itself looks like it is made up of a dalet up here and a nun down here. So some say that it is representative of judgment, and interesting, because you've got or kind of righteousness or justice and judgment with Dean or Don. So something about this justice is moving into a final judgment. Again, it's a completion. It's the end of the alphabet. It is representative of sovereignty in one's life. And the last letter we have here is a vav, and vav means and. So it's about connection. So something that is justice or righteousness is coming to a final place in your life, and it will bring connection. And that is your reading for the week. Shavua Tov, and we'll see you here next time for those of you who chose this heart. And I'll move on to the next reading. Pick these. We're going to replace this heart with this heart. And for those of you who chose the glass heart on the bead chain, I'm going to choose 3 Hebrunes for you today. We're going to just do a 1, 2, 3, kind of what's happening, where it's moving to. The first one coming out is Tzadi. This is interesting. The second one that is coming out is Lamed. And the final rune that's coming out of the bag here is Pei. All right. So what we have in this reading is Tzadi. Coming out at the beginning is, again, judgment or justice. It is the first letter in the word tzaddik. It is righteousness or sort of a holiness. It's representative of a humble person. It's because it sort of looks like a nun bent over with a yud on its back. And the yud represents the divine, the small letter here. So something, justice and judgment is coming, hopefully in a good way, about collecting the divine sparks that are out in the world. It represents the number 90, which is the age of the righteous mother Sarah when she became pregnant in the Torah, in her elderness. And there's something about the letter Tzadi that represents the hunt. So it has something to do with hunting. And I'm not sure how that fits in for you in your life right now, but Tzadi is the first letter we've got in your reading, and it does mean justice or judgment or righteousness, or righteous person. And that moves us into Lamed, and Lamed is the letter, it sounds like the letter L, and it is representative. It's the only letter in the Hebrew that goes above the line. It's hard to fit it on a tile like that, but it goes above the line because it's reaching. It's reaching up to the heavens. It's reaching, and the word heart, lev, begins with the letter lamed. And so it's like the heart is reaching up. It's reaching upward in prayer, or it's reaching upward in meditation or some kind of practice. It is the number 30 in Gematria. And so it's something about elevation or reaching up in the heart. So it has to do with heart energy. So we've got justice or righteousness and heart energy as well. And that's what's coming up next. And then in the future, we've got the letter Pei. And Pei is a mouth. And it is the representation of communication and the creation through language, the creation through speech. but it's also a spiral. So it's like spiraling into the microcosm and out into the macrocosm with these words, with speech. It is the number 80, which is manifestation of the infinite. 8 being infinity on its side, and 10 times 8 being a manifestation of the infinite in its ultimate manifestation. So we started out with righteousness and moved toward the heart, and we end with communication and manifestation of the infinite. And that's what we've got coming up for you this week, nothing small. So look forward for that. Shavua Tov, and we'll see you in the next reading. I'm going to move on to our final glass heart. I'll set this one off to the side and bringing back this large murano glass heart. And we're going to pull out 3 Hebrunes today for those of you who chose the murano glass heart. I'm just going to do 3 real quick. One, the first letter up is the letter Vav. Secondly, we have the letter Pei. A lot of the same letters coming out today. Interesting. This is what's up. And the third letter is the letter Lamed. Interesting. Okay. So what we have here is the letter Vav. And the letter Vav is, it's like a straight standing person. It is someone who is grounded and rooted in themselves, in the earth, and reaching up toward the heaven as well. So it's sort of a connection word, because in Hebrew, Vav literally means and. So it's something that's happening that is connecting you to the divine and to earth, being grounded, being rooted like a spine, being standing upright, and also being rooted deep into the ground like a taproot. It also can stand for a peg, so it's something that connects 2 things together, like a tent peg connecting to the ground, or like a peg that would hold a curtain that would connect 2 pieces together. So there's something to do with connection here. That's the primary Hebrune today. The second one is the letter Pei, and that is about communication, and it is representative of the mouth of the divine, speaking creation into existence. It is the number 80, so it is a representation of the infinite, the ultimate version of the infinite, because 8 on its side is that infinity symbol, and 10 times 8 is the ultimate manifestation of infinite. So it's about speech, it's about creation through speech, it's about communication. So whatever you've got connection and communication going on here. And that leads us to Lamed, which is the first letter in the word Lev, which means heart. And Lamed is the one letter in the Hebrew alphabet that goes above the line. So it's very tall, it's reaching up toward heaven. And it is, again, representative of the heart, this longing for elevation, this longing to connect to something above, some higher self. And it's also about learning and teaching. So, it's about reaching and learning and teaching. And it is action in the body. So, again, we've got connection, we've got communication, and then we've got heart. And again, heart connection, reaching up and trying to find connection through action in the world this week. So thank you so much for listening. Shavua Tov. Also Chodesh Tov for those of you who haven't received the greeting for the new month yet. And we'll see you next time. Thank you. Shalom.